I had never heard of Emilie Kiser or her family until the tragic drowning of her son, Trigg, the other day. And I have made many observations about this entire situation, and I'd just like to share them. This is in no way to shame this family or with an ill intent. I literally, just observing this entire situation, one thing that I find really alarming is the parasocial relationship. She has like these cult-like followers. When you get into these very large creators, they do end up with like a celebrity status almost, but they're just day-to-day people. Then you see all these videos of people saying, well, people shouldn't be looking up information about this, except she does have millions of followers. You get to celebrity status. If this were a celebrity, people would be looking like crazy for information. People would be going through and critiquing her videos. Was this negligence? Was it an accident? Obviously, it was an accident. The thing about negligence is, regardless of intention, it's still negligent if proper protocols weren't in place. And unfortunately, in this instance, they were not. So, apparently, they moved into this home in late 2024. I'm thinking like October. I did not do a huge deep dive on her content, but I did some. And she spent thousands having the kitchen renovated and had designers in and out, etc. Yet no pool fence was put up. It is law in Arizona, if you have a child under 6 living in your home, which she has 2, that you have the pool area fenced. Now, the fence has to be 20 inches from the pool, but I could not find code that said a maximum distance away from the pool. But it does read as pool area must be fenced. So it does look like the perimeter of her yard had a fence, but that's not the pool area. Other acceptable barriers are like a concrete wall, like a 4-foot wall or something built completely around the pool, which she didn't have, and a motorized cover that has a key lock. And that's the kind that you can open and shut like with a motor daily. That is not the kind of pool barrier they had. The only pool barrier that they had was a net. Now, this may have been a perfectly acceptable thing, like through the winter and all like that. But the thing about this net is, once the pool season started, it was taken off and it wasn't put back on. So you can see in her videos that for at least the past month, the pool has been just open. And his tricycle, is right beside it. There are many videos of him riding just right beside that pool. He could easily fall in. He had not had swim lessons at this point. She talked about getting them. She talked about getting a fence, but had not done it. They'd been there almost a year. You need the fence. And, it's not just for your kids, but it's neighbor kids. I know a man who a neighbor drowned in his pool. And, that destroyed that family. The one where the child died, it didn't actually destroy the neighbor man, but karma came and got him. And so my question with this is some of it karmic? Because apparently people have been telling her that she needs a pool fence in comments on her videos for many months. And the rumor is she deletes them. I have not found verification of this yet. But there's also a rumor going around that she said in a live stream that she did not like the pool fence for her aesthetic. I have not confirmed that either. I don't know that those things are true. It does seem like, though, that there must have been some reason like that keeping her from getting a pool fence, because it clearly wasn't money. It clearly wasn't, not knowing how to employ someone to come in and do work on the home. I mean, she literally had all kinds of renovation done. And that's what makes it almost worse. If this were a poor family without a cult following, or even with a cult following, if it were a poor family, people would be raking them all over the coals. They'd want charges filed. Charges could be filed. I mean, there is still an ongoing investigation, which, I don't know why it hasn't been closed yet. It could be even, involuntary manslaughter or negligent homicide. If this were poor people would be raking them over the coals, and they'd say, well, then you just shouldn't have had the pool. You should have just drained the water, not had the pool. If you can't afford to have the fence, don't have the pool. But see, when it's someone wealthy with a bunch of people, wanting this life, they're going to defend her. And, it was an accident, When it comes to bodies of water and kids, you need multiple barriers of protection. There is a video of her 3 years prior that says what scares her more than death is large bodies of water. Talk about scary foreshadowing. And, there are probably people that are wishing ill on this woman because she does have this multi-million-dollar home and this seemingly perfect-looking life. And it is coming on the public's dime, a lot of it, because she is an influencer. Now, I don't know what else that they do, but I do think that most of this money came from her influencer career. But don't quote me on that. And I don't know what her husband does. But if you put the material before nature, like literally, I don't want a pool fence, I just don't like how that looks. You put that over your child's life. And then you sit there and you have that egotistical, it won't happen to us. And you've got people commenting that you need a pool fence. And it's like, he'll be fine. Man, all that is playing with fire. The simulation will absolutely do something exactly like what just happened. I don't know if the marriage will survive it. So the mom wasn't home. She was out with friends. The dad was there with the 2 kids, supposedly watching basketball, and the kids slipped out. I wonder if there were substances involved. I wonder if she's going to have the mentality that, if I would have been there, it wouldn't have happened. Well, I don't know about that, honey, but if you would have had a pool fence, and if you would have had alarms, and if you would have had locks on those doors, and if you would have had a couple little minor inconveniences until the child was 6 or 7 years old, it's not forever, he might have lived to see that long. I mean, it is so tragic. And if you've never had kids, literally the first few years of their life, it does feel like you're just, the goal is to keep them alive that day. I'm not kidding. And the accidents do happen so fast, and that's why it is just unbelievable that they did not have barriers of protection around that pool. If this were a poor family, people would be screaming to take their youngest kid and all this. And, those things could happen. But I bet, given the fact that they have money, and I bet they won't get in trouble. She does seem to be like a good mother, and they seem to be like decent parents on the videos that you see. Obviously, we're just seeing a few minutes of people's lives, but you can tell about somebody's energy a lot of the time, and they just, they don't exude neglectful parents. He could have been changing the baby's diaper. It's weird, though, that the police report says watching basketball. I don't even know that I would have told them that if that's what I was doing. I might have said I was in the bathroom or something. I don't know. I mean, especially given how the public is. But people could have been wishing ill on them, and I guarantee you they're not the type to have protections up to send that back. So I just had to vent about this situation and my observations, and, you know, my heart goes out to them. I mean, even if this does have some energetic thing or whatever, it doesn't make it less tragic. And if you have a pool, get a fence, even if you don't have little kids, because you just never know who could get in it. And it just takes a few seconds. If you have a really awkward parasocial relationship with an influencer, like if you can't live your daily life because of thinking about what this influencer is doing, you might want to look hard at that, because you got to realize that as a content creator, like, unless we've communicated with you frequently, we don't know who you are. We have no idea. And I get that it's human nature to feel close with somebody, like when you see them talking to you. And these devices really do make it seem like we're having a one-on-one conversation. I mean, especially because, like, with FaceTime, people do have one-on-one conversations. But that's not how it is. And every time one of these scandals or tragedies happens with someone big on social media, I'm just always so shocked at the parasocial comments. Have a good day.